Welcome back to Total Warhammer 3 in part 6 of our Mother Ostankya Realm of Souls campaign. This is going to be the final video recorded before the Shadows of Change DLC does go live on the 31st of August there, so there may be a few changes you might notice between this episode and the very next one, and this is actually going to be going live on the 31st there proper. So, diving into today's episode, Kugath has come on over even though he has been cursed up by the Coven there, so all of his magic costs are going to be increased by 40% for all spells. Kevin the Spider King has the Banner of the Eternal Flame, so he's going to be wielding good old searing axes to be trying to cauterize these nasty wounds. Hopefully with the combined of increase in Winds of Magic, because Nurgle spells are very healy. They cost quite a bit, usually per spell, so you can see Rancid Visitations being 19 Winds of Magic for a pretty potent Spirit Leech type effect. But we've passed out a few both blessings and curses, so we've got Typhlosis on both Kugath and the Beast of Nurgle there. We aren't getting the missile strength drop proper, but it is going to be dropping his melee attack and defense by 24, which I think is going to be very, very useful for a pretty low attack and melee defense style unit already. Also, the Plague Toads of Nurgle are going to be a huge issue with both armor-piercing, anti-large, and anti-infantry. We've gone ahead and applied the Fragmenti debuff to them, so they're going to be really tired really quickly. The missile strength, again, is not going to be actually doing anything, but they will drop their HP down to 25%. And this is going to be useful because I think the first volley of our arrows could drop far more models off the initial attack, and that's incredibly useful. I don't want to use all of our curses here, and all of our blessings either, so we've passed out a few. Heaven himself has the Incarnate's Wrath. We've given the Spectre's Miasma to our front line with the Great Axes there, where these are like more of maces. They're going to be in the thick of things more, so when they do end up falling in combat, they'll explode, dealing 100% armor piercing and magical damage to everyone around them. They also have a bit more missile strength and resistances to keep them alive a little bit longer. We also are going to be throwing the Spirited Away on one of our Spear Hussars, going to keep these guys in the front line. And if they fall eventually, that'll be just fine. They will summon in their place an Elemental Bear to start rampaging around in the Demon's ranks. We've also thrown the Bear's Bulwark on both of our Kings in the Woods, as this gives them a lot more mass and charge bonus, so they're able to kind of power on through enemy lines and not get bogged down nearly as easily there. The auto-resolve is already going to think we're going to have a Pyrrhic victory and only lose, but it was not the same before. The entire garrison was gone before I passed out these buffs. Well, now it's going to take out only our Kossars. And a wise lad would probably hit this auto-resolve. I am not that. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a defensive battle against Kugath. Okay, so we are defending in a ruined Chaos settlement. I'm hoping eventually we can have a kind of system where we can rebuild the settlement so that whenever you capture a town, and they've noticed it there, they've mentioned it's very difficult to do. Whenever you capture a town, it should then fall under your influence, so it's no longer the enemy faction's style city, so this shouldn't be Chaos, it should be Kislev. They've all spread out to try to capture as many points as they can, haven't they? Unfortunate. So I think what we want to do is focus over here to take down these flyers first. Kugath is going to be a huge issue with his artillery piece, but honestly, we have to kind of deal with that to start. So let's throw our armored Kossars behind a bit. I want these lads up front. The answer is yes. We'll throw the two Kossar spears behind them. Oh, those pillars there are causing some issues. That is where we whip the heretics. Bring the Things in the Woods. I think I'm gonna have them come on over here, and they can harass different groups of Nurglings. We can also have our dervishes come on outside, and maybe we'll have them harass Kugath to dodge his artillery. We'll make them the target for Kugath's ire. Try to waste as many of his ammunition, as many of those pox launchers as we can, and then we'll have the rest of our Kossars just kind of hanging out. Kossars have the added benefit of being pretty good in a melee. One of the more, I think 3.1 was when they changed their melee stats. So they perform much better as a hybrid unit than they used to. More akin to, obviously not nearly the same as the Dark Elf Corsairs, but very similar to them. We want our Spirited Away comrade to be in a good spot. Keep him back behind. They may choose to send their lads right over the top, but I think we can deal. Also want to keep in mind that Kugath can start launching shots behind too. We have just a few armored Kossars not deployed, so let's grab these guys and bring them on over. Let's have them in the back. I'm tempted to have them kind of set up where we can kind of shoot the pistols down. Hopefully their hand pistols can fire on the fools that will be trying to capture this zone, because the Beast of Nurgle here is going to be a huge issue. But I don't want to lure the Beast of Nurgle into our line of fire here. Let's grab the spearmen. I'm going to put them on this edge. That way, if we really want, we can have them start moving up and locking down the Beast of Nurgle as well with their spears. So let's just grab everyone, throw them into guard mode. And there's Kislev. Spider King up front, who doesn't have any spiders anymore. He is now the spiderless king. Alright, we need to make sure to remember to actually move these guys around. So let's deploy them a little ways away from Kugath so I have a bit of time to react. Alright, let's get our towers set up. We will 100% want probably the arrow tower here, and then this gives us more melee defense and more leadership. That's definitely the call. That'll begin. Alright, things in the woods. We will just send one of you out for now. What say you, enemies?
The motherland's finest.
We're about to have a whole hail of arrows launching their way. Let's make sure that all of these archers here are tearing apart these plague drones once they get into range. What are you guys up to? Those Death's Heads are going to take a few of our Kossars with them, and they're going to explode kind of unnecessarily. That's not great. Good strategy on their end there, but I'm not gonna move them back, otherwise they'll get shot in the back. Good work. Things in the woods should maul these Furies. And we've got enough for another tier 1 tower. Let's throw one in over here. These lads are starting to get bombed by Kugath, who honestly is having some really bad aim. He's only taking out 2 of them. Love to see it. Here comes another one. Who are you shooting at? That minus 30 accuracy is really affecting you there, buddy. No reason to move forward. We'll just keep the lads there. Let's go ahead and have the Things in the Woods come on out and take down these Nurglings in the back. The stragglers must fall. Let's have some pistols move down to this position. And then I think you guys are also pistoliers. Let's see if they can fire down. And we'll have the spearmen also coming on around. Honestly, best idea is to have them up here. Dive on in there, Kevin. These Nurglings didn't even see it coming. Chaos meets scarier chaos. That's the way. Get them, lads. Everyone's got a little treat. Bonus first infantry should be fantastic to destroy this group. No, we just want Evan to charge these plague bearers. Let the armored Kossars use up all of their ammunition before we charge them into combat, and rest in peace, you guys. Warhounds, I had forgotten about the Warhounds. That changes things a bit for our lads here. In fact, Warhounds are going to make things spicy for our Kossars. Just hold the line. You guys make sure you're blasting in on this group. I don't think these guys have line of sight, so that's not great. We'll just bring them around, because here comes the Hounds. Take that point back or face consequence. Oh, so the Fragmenti takes them down to 25% health? Oh, I misread that. That's way better than I thought. Let's start moving the archers around then. We don't even really necessarily need to switch to hold any of these other positions. We can just pretty much hold here. Alright, looks like the Beast of Nurgle is deciding he doesn't want anything to do with getting shot in the back. which, fair enough. Send them on through. We'll just have the normal Kossars blasting those Plague Toads there. We've got the position held. Oh, Kugath's trying to take down our tower. Hold the line, lads. Capture the position, so they're going to keep moving up. That works for me. Looks like these dervishes aren't going to be doing much. We're just going to keep them off on the side here. Wait but a moment. Through with the things in the woods. They're just going after those horse raiders. Aggressive. Our horse raiders have a bit of resistances though, so that's probably not going to go as well as you guys think it will. Alright, set these other two Kossars up a bit more towards the enemy there. We can start blasting in on these poor Nurglings. Yep, turn and start firing. We can just drop in a trap there. Thank you, Kugath. You being a fool is fantastic work. Find the point. We'll have you guys set for the dervishes. We'll keep the dervishes just around here. Dive in on the side. He's just sitting over here. That's a good strategy. Alright, now we're not hitting anything anymore with these Kossars, so let's go ahead and push forward. And we'll go ahead and bring everyone else over to get ready to engage the enemy. Explosive boys, bring your axes on in. And we'll just have Kevin come with you.
At the forefront.
Perfect. This tower's in a really bad spot. Although actually it is hitting things, so let's go ahead and take it into a... Wait a bit for a magic tower, can't we? As soon as we reclaim the center, we'll throw in a tower here. Lure these hounds back towards our pistols. You guys push forward to fire on the plague bears coming in. Need them forward enough where they can start actually shooting in on the enemies. We'll go ahead and pull the things in the woods back so they can get another charge in. They're going to choose just to capture the point. Fair enough. Go ahead and charge them then. Rotate and start firing those pistols. Do we have the point captured again? We do indeed. Where are the towers? Are there any towers? No towers for this center position here. Kugath's taking that one down very, very slowly. I am curious. Oh yeah, no, we annihilated them on the charge. They're poisoned now, though, so we'll see if they actually survive past the charge, but I'm rooting for them. Here and patch up a few more Nurglings. Make sure your arrows are all hitting the Plague Bears. They've got the Cloud of Flies, but Dazed completely counters that. Bloodied Kossars, although one unit is held back several demons all at the same time here. Yeah, Kugath, you didn't do well here in this siege, I can't lie. Decision making, not fantastic. Come on back, let's go ahead and throw in the max tier tower here. Yeah, they're just gonna stay back and not advance. An intriguing strategy. This Beast of Turtle's just sitting over here. He's blind, I guess we can't fault him too much for it. Alright, Kevin. Operation Capture This Zone is a go. We'll send you with the Armored Kossars. They're using spells to try to weaken us. Not gonna be enough. Sure, no more hounds are coming back on in. Keep ripping through. You guys should have lots of extra mass to push through the line. Kossars. Those axes wet with demon ichor. Bring yourselves. I don't think you have any more pistol ammo, but you might as well bring it on in and start using it. You and Kevin capture the zone. These two Kossars start getting some shots in on the Beast of Nurgle there. charge those Nurglings. That should go very well. Let's pull the things in the woods off to the side here. Let these Kossars hold the line. Where am I? Spirited Away. We even used the bear one again, and we didn't even need to use it. They can fire the last of your shots if you can. Things in the wood hold the line. Yeah, the beast is more concerned with things in the wood. That's a bad target. You fire on these Nurglings instead. Nice miss. Guess you tried your best. Alright, you two bring the last of that ammunition over here to fight Kugath. Good surround. We can have some cinematic dervishes versus the Nurglings. Ooh. Oh yeah, you landed a hit finally. They just gotta crumple on away. Fair enough. Looks like Kugath gives up. He's gonna wiggle on over here on his hover chair. We'll kick in our healing potion. Look at him go. Sat back in the back and wasted all of his ammunition on our towers. Alright, Raise of Visitation's hurts. Run. No one likes cholera.
An effective position.
Which just so happens to be one of the most obvious statements that has ever been uttered. How much damage you can still do? He's over here healing, isn't he? Kugath has so much health. 13,000. Is he in the second tier of instability? It has different tiers. Perfect. He's gonna drop that down on the Kossars. I would much prefer that. Dervishes, no bad. You'll get butchered. Nostus can come on in here and drop in some fire damage. Kugath's now on fire. Could be. His many ailments. There we go. Dropped off some Nurglings that immediately went away. Yeah, we've got them. Come on, everyone. Join on in. Oh, it's the best combat animation. Kugath has some fantastic battle animations. That one being the best, where he pulls out two Nurglings and smashes them together. It is the ultimate Yah.
The position is ours.
He's gonna last forever. Keep chopping at that hover chair and eventually you'll bring him down. Just try to take these dudes down so he smushes them. I don't know if he said slay the fatty one or the fetid one. Either one works here. An absolute raid boss. And there's the heroic win. Well, it gives us a heroic victory, and that's mostly because the CJI really struggled at trying to figure out how to get through that one without taking casualties. I'm not sure if it was because they were scared of our missiles or what, but that was pretty brutal. Sweet, happy to have it. We will take the extra gold.
No more threat than mice.
Stole his Lich Bone Pendant. Awesome. When even with our new troops, we actually have more than enough income. Awesome. And Kevin has given himself a bit of air freshener for breezing around the realm. 30 growth and chance of plague spreading minus 80% for his armor. For all his poxes and foul contagions, Nurgle's fetid brewmaster was overcome in battle by good old-fashioned brute force. And a bit of indecision. Flaming scribes are no more. That means there's a scary force of Nurgle up here in the north as well. We've now got a new quest issued. Jinxed Land. Win the following battle with Mother Ostankya's army. Teeming with mystical energy, magical forests scattered around the land are a ripe source of spirit essence, promising untold power to any who might channel it. With dark magic, gateways may be opened to each forest, providing an endless fount of spiritual energy. The Wood Elves, however, prove a constant thorn in the side, seeing such a thing as a threat to the sanctity of their land. They defend the magical forest against all intruders, barring entry to any who would seek to channel their essence. Dealing with these misguided miscreants will prove a challenge, yet with the aid of the malevolent spirits of the forest, the ancient power of these woodlands may be within reach. There's a bit more replenishment, and then we will learn the Jinxed Land hex. Sounds like we are actually going to be siding up with Drycha. That is a nasty force. The Eternal Guard are not very scary because we can butcher them pretty easily with our Akshina. Zotes are a problem, Treemen are a problem, and any kind of archers they might be bringing are going to always be an issue. Okay. Well, we will keep that in mind. I'm sure we have what it takes to fight that battle, but let's just kind of make sure things are cool on the shore. Zulator Vergus is the only one that's left. Really need to go south here. We just don't have enough gold to afford both armies. Guard, you guys are quite expensive. We might be having to remove you for the greater good here. Just have a whole heap of spider hatchlings with their slow death effect. Alright, I think either way, Mother Ostankya should try to fight the battle. She has no plagues on her. Let's jump into our witch's hut and grab some good ones here. Fighting against the Treekin. Ember Dread would give us flaming attacks, flame resistance, and enable within if you're in melee. So giving this to our elemental incarnate would allow him to cause huge issues. 10% more weapon strength, less base damage, but more armor piercing. This takes away our teeth slot, which is Orc Molar and the Warpstone Fragment. Okay. As long as I can still get... I wanted to add in the Gate of Thorns, but as long as we can get perhaps Typhlosis at the very least, the ones that drop their missile strength. Fragmenty turns out is, yeah, hit points greater than 25. I misread this entirely. I thought it only dropped 25% of their hit points. It seemed like it was far too strong otherwise. Okay, this one has earned a higher mark on my watch here. Wraith Sight's also awesome. Okay, let's first grab the Ember Dread. I think that's going to be great for bringing down the Treekin.
Saints bearing flaming swords. Dodge is showy.
Dodge is showing. Now let's grab the Explosives for the drop in missile strength. And this is honestly just a good one for just putting on a important large beastie and stopping them from doing anything. We can grab an Agony Succession as well, or a Incarnate's Wrath for resistance. Spreading some damage out to the blobs of Dryads sounds like a good call, so let's do that. Prepared about as much as we can.
Goya, bow to me.
He is a Rhyme Queen. We'll throw in the Deadly Blade, and then I think we'll just make sure that you've got a bit more health. Maybe armor is probably the better call there. He's not going to be able to boost any of the spiders. Creatures of the land, yes. Spiders, no.
With this, my rule is absolute.
Absolute. So we're going to go ahead and give you some spiders again. 1, 2, 3 spiders. We'll let that sit. We'll probably go for Kevin. We remember his old name, but not his new one. Spiders, and then some snow leopards for a personal guard. We're going to have a whole bunch of spooky boyars.
Who calls?
I can't wait. Ostankya, you are missing a single unit, which makes me a wee bit concerned for you. So let's throw in the Mordheim Beowulfs for this battle.
Bring in the harvest, or fight.
Or fight. And now let's teleport it over to the battle.
Of my cauldron, it is easy to discover.
I mean, we vastly outpower them, as long as we play this one clever. Let's teleport on over. Oh, I indeed wish to teleport. Well, hello there, Treekin. It's not gonna... Oh, it is gonna show us our reinforcements. The Saren, Shadow of the Forest. Figured this would be Coetl. Or maybe he's just a Coetl stand-in. Because this isn't Drycha either, it's just... Oh, wait, this isn't Drycha, this is just like a lord she's sitting to help us. This is a scary army. Okay, so let's go for... Where's my blazing... Ember Dread on Big Boy Incarnate. And then maybe Rat's Grit on our Akshina, just in case they get caught in combat. Rat's Grit on the Akshina. Then lastly, we'll just come on over and drop off perhaps 1 or 2 on these fools here. So we'll go for Agony Succession on... What's probably most important to get the Blade Singers out of there fast. Go for Fragmenty on the Lord, drop him down in his health, and then I'm just going to give as many of our curses out as we can. So we'll go for Typhlosis on one of the Zoe teams. And Tropus is perfect for one of the Nurglish spellcasters, but let's have ourselves a romp against the Wood Elves. Interesting. Are we down in the Chaos Dwarf area? Karaz und Rain Light Forest. So we're going to be deploying from behind and having to come on in to reinforce Dreich's army. This could be a ton of fun. Let's dive in. Alright, Light of the Forest. Let's see if you can handle Akshina ambushers. So what we are going to do is deploy all of our Akshina. Oh, we can't. Okay, it looked like we could. So we can get a bit of a head start, but not that severe of one. That is just fine. It makes sense, too. So we should probably attempt to work our way around this side with at least a few of them. Let's go for 3 Akshina here. Down a few, that way we can move them on in. We'll have 2 of them deploying on the other end. Lend to those bolts. Armor-piercing, invisible crossbow bolts are always fantastic. And then we'll have the good old Elemental Incarnate ready to throw himself straight down the middle. And go get into a brawl with one of the Treekin. Let's have the Things in the Woods ready to protect our archers on both sides. Same thing with our bears. We'll have 1 team of bears each. Bears kind of leading the charge for the Things in the Woods. We'll grab all of the smaller beasties, including the ogres. Ogres are just going to have to find themselves a place to plant themselves into combat. Bats will hunt down archers. Come up front, just to at least keep the enemy worried about them. Very interesting that the hatchlings don't have Vanguard, but the giant spiders do. I also think that we should probably change giant spiders so that they can climb up walls. They're a little bit faster than ladders. They don't take very much small vigor penalty because they have to climb up a wall. But that's something that you see spiders do constantly, so it would make sense. Bale wolves. Let's do it. Scoot Ostankya up just a bit. And the Hag Witch over here as well. Start bringing everyone else on over. Oh, attacks our ally. We probably have to keep them alive as well. So let's push the Akshina forward. Send the spiders round. And the bears can just go straight through into the Zotes there. Perfect, they're all moving in. You 3 focus fire those Zotes. Damage in. Let's go ahead and save. I will have Mother Ostankya move on a little bit closer, drop in the mushroom sauce for our happy allies here. They are going to brace. I'm going to go ahead and tell them not to keep charging. So they break the brace. And then from there, we just charge in. Slow death approaches. Alright, bats, go hunt down individual groups of archers. Oh, I didn't even have my Incarnate come on in. Pull away from the Starfire shards. That's going to be a problem. Drop in some more. Maybe not crows, we just weaken the Light of the Forest there. I'm going to leave you guys off to the side here because I'm incredibly suspicious about the lack of enemies. Sheena scoots forward so you can keep firing. You just go straight through this gap that they've opened up for us. Blast them away. Get in here and get some cinematic shots of the battle. We've got bears ripping into the Guardians of the Forest. And the spiders as well. Dryads have very low armor. They're more or less like a flagellant style unit. Those are going to cause some problems for our ice bears, probably. Beast these archers, though. These are the scariest bats in the west. Look how fast they blend through the enemy infantry units. Alright, let's push them into the back of these dryads here. Help us overwhelm this one angle. Trees in the forest have spoken and reinforcements are beginning to flank us. Hit J real quick to have them about face. Over and get some damage. Looks like here's some eagles and the things. Eagles and the like.
I have decided.
You deal with this enemy lord here.
We fight for Urston. Make war.
Dragon as well, huh? Respect it. We'll have our bats gonna pull them forward. Fighters move in and start just mauling whoever you can find. Looks like they want to chase down Ostankya and company. Feel they're gonna find that to be a very poor decision. Blade Singers came back, War Dancers for a very brief moment. Great Stag Knights know where our archers are, so let's bring them on back to help. Fluffy, can you just deal with this enemy lord here? Where is he? Right here. That's your one job. He's be on the way. We'll have these bats go after the Great Hawks coming on in. Sheena has started to get dived in on, but they're going to immediately change their mind there. Ice Bears run over the Great Stag Knights. Should be an easy task. Followed by Akshina, I want firing on this dragon. Ostankya, you keep moving on forward. Let's drop an overcast crows onto these poor fools. Spiders, go ahead and turn and maul. Our bats are losing their fight against the Great Eagles to the Great Hawks. That is to be expected, though. You defeated the enemy lord yet. Look at him flee. Drop more crows down where we can. Keep blasting away. Weaken these hawks here as they dive into melee with our Akshina. Alright, the enemy lord has fallen. Out units on the ground, the enemy is full. They just turn and run. Okay, so that is what you want to do. Focus fire the enemy tree man. You don't have to deal with any of these units at all. Perfect. Alright, well, I think we might have overreacted a little bit with our curses. We curb stomped them pretty aggressively. Not even Vassarin's forces took too many casualties, except for these spider hatchlings. They're awful. We will go ahead and grab the extra gold. We need it quite badly. Income from all buildings plus 10% in the local region.
The world's magical forests call to the daughters, revealing gateways long since hidden to the uninitiated. No matter the distance or what lies between, the Coven can traverse their secret ingresses in the blink of an eye.
Yep, we have now become the anti-Wood Elves. We aren't going to run around punching the Wood Elves, but if they get in our way, that's certainly going to happen. So it takes 24 Spirit Essence, and every 5 turns we can go ahead and teleport to a random, or not a random, but our choice of a magical forest. That's pretty awesome. We discovered a new trinket as well for fighting against the Wood Elves. That's really what we're most interested in. Which one is it? We have gained the Bark of Ages. This patch of bark, many centuries old, has seen more than most individuals, despite its stationary nature. When we use it to create a blessing, we get Vanguard, and we use it to create a curse, we get minus 15% speed. Pretty solid. Oh, I have just made a huge realization. So it only takes, you have to have 1 horns and a 1 wood slot, and you can create a Spirited Away. So you get the Spirited Away just for having the 2 colors, so I have horns and wood. But then the trinket effects change, obviously, depending on which. I thought it was a specific trinket you had to use. That is, makes things extra spicy. You can have all sorts of fun combinations in here then. Perfect Vigor, Vanguard deployment, and Spirited Away. You just have your bats be, well, I guess bats already have Vanguard, but you can have a Berserker style unit be incredibly up where you want them. Oh, put them so that they can die in the proper place if you have a unit of like Giant Slayers or something. And then once they go away, a bear summons in its place, which is pretty terrifying. Let's go ahead and get another one of these. We'll save this for when we have some Slayers.
Why need I
know eventually we're gonna make friends with dwarves.
So much to themselves.
Just not yet. Extra control is probably the way here. She doesn't have the Greater Arcane Conduit? I thought she was a Master Spellcaster. Turns out no. Absolutely not. Recruitment cost, Troll, Corruption, or Attrition. I think we do need to go for control. So let's first grab Smoke and Mirrors for extra speed anytime we're casting. We're going to grab Mother's Rally because it gives us 5 control to start on top of unlocking the Hag Witch. Unlock Hag Witch recruitment in every single province, and then extra 2 capacity. We won't be able to afford them, but for now,
Heed my hexes.
we get more control at least. Speaking of, it'd be a really good idea to grab the transformation of Kaden here.
Celebrate now, Kislevites.
Might as well
Bring fast.
double down. It costs 6 less. It just allows us to summon in a Manticore or 14 Winds of Magic, which is not a fantastic fighter, but it's kind of just a heat-seeking missile. You send it in and it rampages and does a bunch of disruptive damage. What we're going to do with Ostankya is we are going to have her press aggressively towards in that.
Goya,
Have you come up towards Zamoski
my seat
to defend the City of
power.
Splinters. He can't make it through both of these in one turn, being Nurgle. Of course, if you prove me wrong, I'll be terrified, but have him move to Zamoski. He's going to take a bit of attrition, and we will go ahead and recruit in the Spiders, making him the Spider King he deserves to be.
Gullible fools.
If we try to attack Gluter, he will just leave. He'll leave either way. Let's go ahead and hunt him down.
Reduce them to shadow.
Use them to shadow. He does stay to fight. Brave, I can respect it.
Do not disappoint Ostankya, troops.
We didn't even gain enough to turn into essence. How unfortunate. Let's take the smattering of extra gold then.
Kislev needs bread and gold more
Troops.
than their death.
And we'll throw Ostankya into March Dance.
From Kane.
Interesting. This is where Olaf chose to hide out. We can make it from Stormvrak over to Karak Doom in a single turn. I would do so. Yeah, let's try it. Go into March. The trespassing on the Norskins. I want to hit Karak Doom. We're in normal stance. Could we? How many turns is it gonna be till we make it? It would take 2 turns. So
The Beowulfs take me.
there's a huge chance that Olaf decides to come through here. So let's go ahead and do the same.
Move as the wind does.
We will take our small bit of
Hate does
replenishment.
not slow me.
I'm going to continue to use the Hag Guard, even though I would like to replace them with Hatchlings. In fact,
Second only to the throne.
you guys are going to be disbanded very temporarily. As soon as I can make friends with ogres, I'm going to get in
every
some more. But
soldier
you've
is
done well.
You gotta regret it.
You're going to regret it.
Bring
Probably.
in the harvest or fight.
Well, see,
Who calls?
I should have known that wasn't going to work.
Only bring the best.
Okay. Well, in that case, Stonky will just go with 1 less soldier. That's what we get for disbanding the Hag Guard.
Grow restless.
Spider King. Not going to give you any of these ROR units yet, just unless we really need them. We'll let Ostankya recruit in some more spiders here whenever she can, but just missing out on a little bit of income is really what I'm here for.
born to power.
So we can teleport her. Currently the Haunted Forest, Lorelorn Forest, or only the Doglanier Forest. Fair enough. We aren't going to do that because there's only 3 forests to travel to, but eventually coming on down here and helping out Kislev is probably a good call. Start taking some territory and making more allies just by punching their enemies there. You're going to have plenty to deal with, so you may not want to do that for now.
No place for a noble.
Alright then. All of our trinkets are on cooldown. Let's go ahead and get the walls upgraded in the Doglanier. Then we reluctantly end the turn. He receives a plague. Figure the witch's hut would help out with that. And then Mother Ostankya has been infected by force by Kugath. Nurgle corruption +2 in the local province. The buboes are not nearly as bad as it could be. These intricate designs are woven from strips cut from the pelts of young beasts, perhaps slain for the tenderness of their meat. Delicious. Plus 15% weapon strength for snow leopards. Now we're having a barbecue. Oh, blast barbecue.
Witch.
And you can reach Stormvrat? Perfect. I'm gonna do some damage.
Kislev's foes die.
Claim back some more land that belongs to Kislev. We'll give this one the auto-resolve.
Teach them
We lose
blood
almost
and
nothing, which is
futility.
pretty impressive for an auto-resolve. Oh, the gold. Don't mind if I do.
Those who stand against us will know the cost.
Will indeed. Victory over Nurgle. This day, the Father has been banished from reality. And not quite. We still got lots to do. Cleanup crew. Mother Ostankya is here.
I see.
I'll go ahead and repair the normal building there. For our provincial town hall. Let's go ahead and go for the Market Square just for a bit of gold. We're going to press across to Karak Doom and then push back towards Gluttport very quickly. Darko Wharf is owned by his Norskins. I'm thinking the Norskins will come after us pretty soon. I'm not so concerned about it, but I'm thinking they'll make their play. Teleports any target army to the chosen magical forest. So this allows you to just kind of warp someone to you if you wish. That seems pretty good. No more corruption for the entire duration. And then stops the target army from moving completely. World in Trouble gives us the final trinket slot. That's probably what we're going to go for, no matter what these others give us better in terms of benefits. We are dropping down pretty low on Spirit Essence as well.
The land,
We should
the
gain more.
trails, the cities.
Squeeze it out of the enemies.
My decision is law.
Good to hear. Spider King, you are going to keep coming on up north towards the City of Splinters here.
This is my province.
This is his
Set
province.
camp at once. My
There are many
rule
like it.
spread.
This one has cracks that have lava seeping through.
Only the most skilled may serve.
Okay, so one more hatchling, and then... I mean, what are we just going to make a giant army of spider hatchlings? I'm thinking that's the call. They're very cheap. We can at least afford them sitting in the background for a while. As opposed to some of our others. We'll have spiders, and then we'll have Kossars behind them, launching arrows, because they're pretty small, so they should actually dodge most of the arrows shot by friendly troops. Okay, so instead of just doing it, letting them create it for us. Skulls, we have no choice, but I do want to keep gathering up these Entropus spells. These are fantastic. Especially for change.
Petty cantrips.
And then for
So
Typhlosis, change it up a little bit.
to the soul.
Speed and missile strength, as well as defense, or if we don't want to use the bark, leadership drop. We'll just drop the speed. That works for me. I don't think the bark gives us any extra special. Let's see, the secondary slot.
The storm closes in. Your
Perfect.
hand, you see.
I am actually also
beyond
tempted to
that,
see what the Whiff of
what?
Madness does. Does Rampage Post in the comments if you know. Does Rampage force your unit to attack a friendly unit if that's the only one close? So say you do pop this on a unit, basically when the battle starts. Will they immediately, if they Rampage, turn and attack a friendly unit? Or is that not how that works? Either way, we can do some testing ourselves. So we get either the weapon strength tooth or charge bonus one. Let's go for the charge bonus tooth. And then lastly, we can create the Hushed Cast, which drops missile resistance and power recharge every time they cast spells. Oh, you could give this to a different unit, so when someone else casts a spell, they drop their missile strength. Or not missile strength, missile resistance. Pretty solid. We're just going to make all of the incantations we can every single turn, no matter what, but
Rich with sweat and
it's cool to see what
honor.
we're able to create here. And then we will also grab the Ice Witch. We can afford her for now. 60 a turn. Welcome, Beledna.
Frost Maiden.
Carved from ice. 20 Spirit Essence and an Obsidian Amulet. Now we have Carrier Frost Maiden, so we can have her come on out and start stealing some tech. Which sounds great, actually.
Highborn is
Also, I do believe increases our
Is Winter's
income
request.
12%. Increases missile strength, and then chariots upkeep. And looks fantastic. Let's go for probably a relic sword on Anastas.
Lord
Never
of
mind, he's
all.
already got the Fincer's blades. Pretty set up. Let's make sure spells don't drop him on a fly or on a whim
Maiden
there.
of the Frosts.
You can have the relic sword. And no ancillaries.
I am young, but peerless.
Young but fearless. That is surely something you can probably put on your job apps these days.
Kislev.
Provinces we could
Who?
coax them into giving us some gold.
It's you. My mind was elsewhere.
Yeah, you better keep that in check, brother. Yuan Bo's watching.
We, humans, stand together.
Yeah, that's exactly what we are. I think we both are something a bit more. Trade with Kislev as well. How much do we have to pay for this? 2,000. Ooh, Kastalton. How is it that you were more stingy than the Iron Dragon?
None shall question.
Eternal.
Works for now. Also fixes up our income just a little bit. It'll go away again once we have our spiders, but that's no biggie. Right, we have now unlocked something wicked. Definitely this way comes. We'll leave. Oh, we can't actually make it all the way over here. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Stormvrak Mount is going to be left as a sacrifice. We are going to come on over and smack Karak Doom. Let's come into the center here.
Lift your slovenly heels.
Probably stood to do some raiding, honestly. We'll go into an ambush stance. Is anyone else at war with you guys?
Woeful
Perfect.
deity.
You hush your mouth. I'm gonna go talk
Ice
to
Queen of
the
Teeth.
Serena.
Our common cause shall benefit the world.
Oh, I agree. Interesting. So fighting Goromadni tribe is gonna make the Legion of the Gore Queen upset. Well, Volkia. Let's see how well Korn handles the Hag Witch. I'm thinking we're really gonna need to keep Ostankya near our Akshina or the Thing in the Woods because Volkia is very quick. She'll actually be able to keep up with Ostankya on her sled. I'll join you in this war, and you give me some goodies. At least a non-aggression pact for now. 1,000
All
gold?
Kislev
Sold.
thanks.
Sold, and that'll make Kastalton upset. Treaties with the Ice Court. I imagine confederating with the Ice Court is going to be very difficult, as she's going to be more powerful than us for the most part of this campaign.
The lands protect.
For our next technology, then. We continue working on Kislev. Income from ports. We don't have any ports really sorted out yet. I'd love to grab Norse Hatred, extra melee attack and defense when fighting against all of the demons. Anything worth having down in the final point here? For all Kislev gunpowder units, which is actually pretty solid. I think it was just Streltsy before. resistance for the things in the wood, or the elemental incarnates, both of ice and beasts. Melee defense for lads we don't have. Gospodar bloodline. Yeah, I think the call, well, the festival of Urza here is a good one for research rate. Let's work on Norse hatred here. 14 turns later, extra line of sight, and then the extra melee defense, attack, and leadership when fighting against the Warriors of Chaos.
The snows never needed the invention of fire.
I mean, you say that, but I don't like being cold. Hello there, Chant. Yeah, I foresee this army being a problem, and he could choose to go after Zamoski if he so wishes. Will I be?
Will not be seen.
I control the frost.
This is as concerning as possible.
Train the
You can't reach over here, and if we had the curse mark again, I would absolutely plop that on down. Okay, so Anastas will have you push forward towards the City of Spiders.
Move or
The
die.
lead that will join your army. Spellcasting is going to be almost
The ice court shall provide.
mandatory here.
I reject any who crave
We'll
power.
add in the Arwar Streltsy unit. And the Watchman in the Night, perhaps?
I am Kislev.
These two are cheaper than our Dodge's Hearth Blades, but flaming attacks are going to be really useful against Nurgle. We definitely want the Streltsy. Might as well just grab all three. Let's be honest. But I am going to take... Yeah, no, we want all three.
I deserve a larger retinue.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
I demand absolute loyalty.
And then just more spiders. Maximize our spiders. And he should come on over and attack Kevin, try to stop him from recruiting. That's the plan, at least. We could go after Zamoski, and then we'll probably have to teleport Mama Stanky back on over to Karag Doom. Do so at your own peril. Let's drop in. We'll grab another Eutropus first thing. The most important one, I believe. Now we've got about 3 of them. We can probably start grabbing the Gate of Thorns. I think it's our second most important one.
So much to themselves.
Although Fragmenti has proven itself time and time again. Aleshi's Embrace heals. It costs a lot in terms of trinkets. Let's grab a Fragmenti.
You are as fine porcelain.
We have no trinkets that are wood and teeth. Oh yeah, we do. The Whiff of Badness. Let's give them their weapon strength, fine. And give them less speed.
My magic has.
Perfect. We can do 2 of those. That's awesome.
The heart of a wolfen berserk that swells with lust. Their necks are close enough to taste.
Yum yum neck. And the Spider King is the Constructor King now. But of course he is. Oh, you're just gonna let me bleed myself out with gold? How would you like to be cursed by the Coven?
Interloper, hear the hag's verse.
Your poor soul.
Your lip.
Chills your limbs.
Call me
And fought against the old Sky Titans.
Spirits bring death.
Oh, Karag Doom was never even... It must have been handed this settlement and just didn't want it.
Where I
Finally, we are one with the land.
Kislev.
Gain a charmed shield and some spirit essence. Now we need to secure 2 provinces.
Oh, it's like that.
Like that. Now we just have to purge the steps for more control, because more control means more growth in the long run there. We have a rebellion or 2. That's just fine. It allows us to hunt down some poor fools. Okay, then. Gate of Thorns, we need this time here.
It survives the long winter, the bramble. It's very sour. You taste it upon cracked lips.
based it on correct. If we drop down, you can even drop weapon strength. You can apply. Also, you can basically go for the blueprint and then fill it in even further with missile strength drops, speed drops. Pretty cool. Neither of those we really do need. If we're going to give them the Agony Succession, I would say less speed is probably a good call. So they are forced to lag behind their team.
Ingredient.
Let's try it.
Your neighbor's heart is open. Such empathy you share.
Such empathy. Okay. And you, we can give one more set of little baby spiders. Come on, Chant. You came all the way over here. You a big man or aren't you?
Boyar of Kislev. Roll out.
The most unaggressive rollout ever. Roll out.
Heed me.
Born to
Alright, no deals to be had. We'll go ahead and give it one more in turn here. That should be probably all the time I've got for today. Let's see how long Stormvrak survives. Oh, our ambush was failed, but they came on over to face us either way. Can we just get rid of them real quick with an auto-resolve? We could. All of my spiders would be sacrificed. Perfect. Well, this will give us a opportunity to have a duel between our very short Spider King and this lad on his chariot pulled by a couple of doofs. That's all the time I've got for today. I've been at Space Was a Total War. Remember to leave a like for the light god and a sub for the sub zone. See you on the next one.